Good afternoon again. This makes episode 5 for February the 22nd, 2022. I'm on fire, so I'm just going to stay on fire with the lightning bolts that I'm getting in new ways to share the principle of to one who has more shall be given. So, thinking about mental well-being, mental health, the things that people go through on a day-to-day basis. I wrote down in my journal actually, what is a good way to use metaphysics to assist in mental health? Some form of that question. Because I feel like mental health right now involves the consumption of too many drugs, too many prescription medications to help people manage their mental health issues. And where those are necessary, the medicine is here. If they're getting good medicine, that should end up in a good result for them. I have never wanted medication. I used to struggle with depression. I used to and still, I guess, when it's triggered, I have the ability to release my anger in very, combustible ways. I choose to transmute anger that may be resting in me into love and creativity. I'm going somewhere. Okay, so putting your oxygen mask on first. All right, putting your oxygen mask on first. Right now, the oxygen mask for many people is, let me take this pill. That is what people typically, I won't say typically, what some people run to when they're having that moment. And again, in some cases, it is a good thing if they're getting good medicine. One principle you could also use is put on your oxygen mask first. So, for example, if you are in a moment of depression, a moment of anxiety, a moment of fear, a moment of irrational emotion in some form, and all of you is telling you, I am unable at this moment right now to contain this irrational moment or irrational feelings that I have. I need a breather. I need to put on my oxygen mask. Sometimes I say it is for myself, if I'm around other people, I'll say, give me 50 feet. I need 50 feet. But what I'm doing when I say that, or just in general, or when I meditate or whatever it might be, that's how meditation started for me. I was putting my oxygen mask on first, okay? Because it was important for my mental well-being at that moment to have space for my emotions to breathe in the way that I was most able to use them in a constructive way. And sometimes that just meant sitting in silence, or allowing creation to help me massage the feelings until they were no longer angry as they were. Creation assists me with transmuting how I feel. So when you put your oxygen mask on first, and you are someone who is learning about the principle of to one who has more shall be given. When you come across those moments and your first response is to let me take care of me first. And okay, so I guess I should slow down some. If you've never heard the principle, so let me just back up some. Some people may have never heard the principle of putting your oxygen mask on first. So basically what that means is in a moment of crisis, not in a moment of crisis, think about when you're on an airplane. Okay, you're on an airplane and the stewardess says, hey, these are all the safety features. Here are the oxygen masks. If one falls, if we have a drop in cabin pressure, we're going to drop these masks down and put yours on first. Don't try to help the person next to you. Put on your oxygen mask first, and then try to save the next person. The reason for this is, the scientific reason for this is emotionally, especially if we're parents flying with children, someone flying with an elderly person, or we're just flying with someone we love or have great affection for, we're going to try to save them first. In our attempt to save them, we could lose the ability to breathe and pass out, which will subsequently, if that person is unable to help themselves, they will also die. All right. But if you put your oxygen mask on first, now you saved yourself. You can stop worrying about, I got to breathe too. And then you can help the other person knowing that you have the right supply of oxygen to keep you conscious. All right. Keep you from passing out. So that is the principle behind why you should put your oxygen mask on first. All right. Now, apply that in your daily life. Man, everybody needs a breather. Everybody does. Everybody has a moment in life, a moment in time. Everybody experiences that in some form. You need a breather. Your emotions need to release in a way that is not destructive. Okay. And so when you are put in a situation where you feel like those emotions are going to release in a destructive way, put on your oxygen mask. Put it on. Okay. Now, how do you get creation's assistance in this? One, just acknowledge to creation, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you these chain of events as they will happen to you, likely. I don't want to speak that over you, so I won't do it. I'm just going to say when the moment arises, okay, when the moment arises, this is how you address the moment, okay? If you need a breather, take it. Take your breather. And you don't owe anyone an explanation for the breather. Just say you need the breather for everybody's well-being, okay? I need a breather for myself because it's best for everyone if I get a breather. Don't push through a moment where you need a breather and you can't get it because now you are... metaphysically, your actions are damaged. They have too much bad energy attached to them, and you could probably harm somebody close to you verbally or physically. All right. So just take your breather if you need it. All right. Now, creation sees you take this breather, and they say, wow, this person's faithful over their mental well-being. Should this situation arise again and they do this action again, we will provide them with better cover. Because we know that they recognize to one who has more shall be given. So we gave it to them once. Or actually, if they took the moment, that's a better way of saying it. If they took possession of the moment to put on their oxygen mask, then creation knows, hey man, that's that person's air that they need and space that they need for mental and emotional releases to happen. So the next time it occurs, if you do it again, creation now will provide you with cover. And the more that you apply the principle to take care of your mental well-being, then creation provides you with more cover. And that just turns into its own experience of life because you'll find yourself settled under cover that keeps your mental well-being in balance. And now you're not reaching for your oxygen mask. Now you're just living because the air you breathe is good for you. I hope that made sense. So what I was trying to say, if I didn't, so I'll just recap. Because I try not to speak fast. I do deliver what I have to say very quickly because I don't want to belabor the point. I feel like hopefully everything that I'm saying tracks logically and is said in a very plain way so you can see the mechanics of why I believe this works and how to apply it. So I'll just explain the principle of putting your oxygen mask on first again. For people that are unaware of it, it is basically when you need a breather for your mental and emotional well-being, you take it. You don't owe an explanation for it. Don't feel guilty about it. It's best for you to put on your air, get you some oxygen so you don't suffocate and die, and then kill everybody around you because you can't breathe. Okay, you don't want to use your last air trying to save another person's life. Use your last air for yourself, and then go save the other person. That's the principle behind putting your oxygen mask on first. All right. Now, engaging creation's assistance is now when you see that you need that moment, if you really need it, right? And I'm not going to describe the many ways that it comes, but when it comes, you know it. Take your breather. Own it, possess it. Boom, it's yours. It's mine. It's my breather. And then what creation will recognize is, all right, this person took possession of this time to maintain their mental well-being. And when the situation arises, the next time in your life, or if it arises again in your life, and it happens over the course of just living. Okay. When the situation arises, in your life and you need that breather, now what creation has done is they recognize you took possession of that breather the first time. The second time, they're going to provide you with better cover. And as long as you acknowledge when you need to take those breathers and you do it for yourself, now your cover, remains permanent. And then when you need a different type of cover, then creation will help you with, the cover that you need at the time. Like they see your faithfulness to your mental health and emotional well-being. Okay. And then creation now helps you to maintain whatever balance you need to where you're not always, having to put on your oxygen mask. All right, guys. I hope that explained that principle well. I know that will work. My life has been that for a very long period of time. I believe in this principle, and I have consistently applied this principle over my life within the past 12 years. And the cover that I need for my mental health, whatever I need for my mental health and my emotional well-being, I get it. And when I am not getting that safety that I need for my mental well-being and stability, my emotional well-being and stability, my environment changes to where now I can remain in balance. And it's happened over the course of my life now to where it's just really easily, I can just pinpoint every time I've needed it, every time it's happened in the different environment that I've been placed in while it occurs. So I know that the principle works. So just apply it to your life in the moments that you need them. I wanted to share that because I know somebody needs it. Everybody has those moments. So I'm releasing that now. So I won't be, as I say all the time, I won't be a block in the chain. I want that energy to flow freely out into creation to manifest to where it shall. All right. That's all I have. This is Samuel Ibrahim, your host of the Mind of the Prophet